Hey everyone, welcome back to more Innistrad Midnight Hunt Premier Drafting. Last time, we had a deck with four, of this, I can't think of the spirit's name, but it was, we had six of a spirit that was like a 2-drop that that became stronger as you discard more spirits, so that was pretty cool. We got 6 wins, despite my lack of knowledge in the format. Definitely feels like my lack of knowledge cost me several games, because I just didn't prepare for a few things that I should have been able to prepare for. But that's what all this learning is for. I did notice that looting effects, where you discard and then draw cards, is actually stronger in this format than in previous formats, because there's cards that are good while in the graveyard, and that's not something I'm used to. So that means that 3 mana, there's a 3 mana card that you it's basically a Tormenting Voice, but instead of being 2 mana, it's 3 mana and then flashes back for 4. That card is probably going to be better than I expect because of the fact that there's so many graveyard synergy stuff, so gotta keep that in mind. In addition, I've been warned about not doing red, but I always do whatever colors appear to me. I'm really not going to be avoiding the color when I just started this draft. I've only seen blue-white so far. Blue-white seems good. We got 6 wins with it. We could have got 7 if I had more preparation. There was definitely places where I could have played around combat tricks and I didn't. There were places where... There were just places where I could have recognized this was my win condition and actually went for a turn or two earlier. And would have made a difference. Oh, a lot of Tamios in this one. And we start with Wrenn and Seven. I don't think I need to explain. So, 5 mana, 5/5. 5 mana, 5 loyalty. Let's just put it this way. Use its -3. 5 mana, you create a green tree folk creature with reach and a 5/5. It gets bigger as you get lands. Then also has +1 to get yourself a bunch of lands. It's a +0 to put the lands in the graveyard. And I'm not even worried about the -8. It gets a 3/3 green tree folk. It might give me some lands, and it might give another tree folk before it dies. Other than that, we have some good uncommon red cards. So that is worth noting if those somehow make it back. Gavany Silversmith, no way that makes it back. Novice Cultist, maybe. Yeah, there are, other than this, the cards are all uncommon, which means that I'm going to be giving off quite a bit of red, because Faneblade Brigand, I mean, it's a combat trick within itself, and then it becomes a bigger creature. And Purifying Dragon is a dragon. So these two cards are insane. This card is for a specific deck. Most people won't find it. Harvestblade Sentry, I'd be happy to get it. I'm not going to get it. And yeah, there's not really too many good cards, so I'm not worried about that. Alright. Not much green. So Rite of Oblivion and Can't Stay Away are both fantastic cards if you're specifically black-white. Really hard to be black-white, though. Stormkirk Bloodthief. At the beginning of the step, if opponent lost life this turn, put +1 counter. So this is a card where, if you could get it to work, this card will win games. I'm going to speculate into this, because it's less speculative than specifically Orzhov. Because it's green, I might actually be able to do Abzan, which is black, white, and green. Green has themes for color fixing, so I might be able to do that. We'll see if Can't Stay Away and Rite of Oblivion make it all the way back. If they both make it back, I'm taking it. I'm going to try to be black-white if that occurs. Otherwise, we have another Novice Cultist that might make it through. This card wants to be much more aggressive, so I'm not sure we'll be able to pull that off. Pestilent Wolf would be great, but I'm going to speculate for the Stormkirk Bloodthief. Alright. Malevolent Hermit, Vivisection. Just gotta check if there's any card that's, exceptional right now. This might be it. Olivia's Midnight Ambush is a kill spell, and it's a turn 2 play. But if it turns into night, it is a flat kill. Otherwise, it kills most threats. Other than that, Harvesttide Sentry, since we kind of want to go green. But right now, black is open. I see no reason not to go black. Malevolent Hermit's fine, but it's not what I'm going for. Vivisection, I need more sacrificial fodder for that. You know, things of that nature. If I end up going white, Clarion Cathars, Candlegrove Witch, and Single Barrage are all fine. Shady Traveler's fine if I want to get aggressive with Stormkirk. This is great if I want to get aggressive or controlling, because it takes out a threat. So, we're going to go with the removal, and we'll move from there. Curse of Shaken Faith, not really where I'm going. Blood Pact is just card draw. Olivia's Midnight Ambush, no way out. Target opponent, alright. So it's just either another Midnight Ambush or a Blood Pact. Burden Miter, so you might think, oh, it's just a 3-mana 1/4. Why would I even consider this compared to a removal? It has Reach, and Reach is very important for this draft. That being said, it's possible that this card can rotate back. They might want Have a Hunt, they might want Join the Dance. Blood Pact and Olivia's Midnight Ambush are two very good cards. I don't think one of these is disappearing. It's just the question of, do I want to take the Blood Pact, draw cards, or do I want to take the Midnight Ambush and wipe another creature? Definitely not doing that. I'll grab the Midnight Ambush. Just removal is always safe. Alright. Do I want to commit to green-black? I have some, I have some good cards. This one might not make it. This one definitely wants to make it. So I might just go with Diagraph Rebirth. Returning a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. I could end up grabbing the Morkut Behemoth, just a big old menacing creature. Necrosynthesis. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this, and then it replaces itself when it dies. I could just go Organ Hoarder, say keep myself open, or I could take Diagraph and basically say, hey, this is my colors, get out. I'm gonna be a little foolish. This is the first pack, you should probably go with the blue, but that basically tells everyone else, hey, go blue, I'm not touching it. Alright. Blood Tithe Collector, another Vampire Noble. Ecstatic Awakener is great if I have sacrifice outlets with it. Might of the Old Ways is a nice little combat trick. I'm going to grab the Ecstatic Awakener for now. Blood Chief Corrector is more the top end for an aggressive deck. I'm not sure we're aggressive. Ecstatic Awakener is always great because it can draw a card off of it. There are enough decaying zombie triggers. Blood Tithe Collector would be nice. Been seeing a lot of good white cards, so maybe white is a color I can keep open. Hound Trainer, that's just 3-mana 3/3, already good. Yeah, we don't have enough sacrifice outlet. We have one sacrifice outlet. We have no decay tokens right now, so we're gonna go with Hound Tamer, just a nice little 3-drop. And yeah, starts the Daybound Nightbound for Olivia. Pestilent Wolf would be nice, but we already gained what we're getting. Blade Brand will be nice later. Yeah. It looks like my colors might not be the most open, but they're open enough. Black definitely seems way more open than I expected. Do I want another Diagraph Rebirth? I think I want the Morkut Behemoth at this point. I'm going to get another Diagraph Rebirth if it's available. I might not get a big body to actually play with it. And a 5-mana 7/6 Menace is a great big body. So let's grab the Morkut Behemoth, even though the Diagraph is a stronger card. Alright, we're back to my old pack. Shady Traveler made it around, as well as Harvesttide Sentry. I'm actually going to grab the 2-drop, because it allows me to move into Stormkirk Bloodthief more easily. 2/3 Menace into 4/4 Menace is pretty nice, but I actually want the 2-drop right now. We are seeming to get enough 3-drops at the moment, so I'll keep it low. Alright, Novice Cultist, another... This is actual sacrifice outlet. I might grab Pestilent Wolf just to synergize with Stormkirk Bloodthief. We have 2 ambushes. For card advantage, we have Diagraph Rebirth. Novice Occultist is a sacrifice fodder. That's the tough part. This is actually a tough pick. Well, alright. Another Morkut Behemoth. I think we're going to grab the other Harvesttide Sentry this time. Alright. Bird Admirer or Blood... They both made it around. Okay, my color combination is open. It's a question of how open I want to be. Alright, Bird Admirer is... Reach is very valuable. I would love a Blood Pact, but that Reach is very valuable. Alright, we're going to try Necrosynthesis. Here's the thing. When it dies, you look at the top X cards of your library, so it basically cycles itself. It's not a bad pump. Might have the Old Ways I'm perfectly happy rotating into. Okay, yeah, we're black-green, and we are happy. Outland Liberator probably won't rotate, but we'll have a Harvesttide Sentry or a Shadow Beast sighting, so we'll be perfectly fine, as well as Diagraph Ward could give me all the sacrifice outlets I need. But this card just... It makes infinite sacrifice outlets if it stays around. If I could go with Stack Awakener into Jadar, then I could literally... It literally makes the undead, so I could sacrifice the Static Awakener and then make a new one for, like, another creature. So, yeah. Easy black-red. Covert Cut Purse. Kill spell, basically, that then becomes a fly death touch later on. Yep. The Eaten Alive becomes a lot more powerful, but I'm going to go with the Covert Cut Purse first, because it's just... Like, I could attack in, I could attack in with a Novice Cultist, they could kill it just to get I'm looking for a card draw, and then I actually kill them in return. So, that's great. Also worth noting, Stormcurt Blood Thief, while it might not make this deck, it is a vampire itself, so it can pump itself, which is always very valuable to know. Someone's going to get Rem Carlos, and that's going to be great for them, but we are not those colors. Red-White is basically signaled on, as well as the Organ Harvesters. It looks like the other 3 colors are being signaled for my opponent's end. Can Unnatural Growth work in Limited? Because if it can, at the beginning of each combat, so it's even on the enemy's turns. I'm going to try it. I am going to try it. Not sure if I could get the colors, but Vampire Interloper would be fine with the Blood Thieves. We actually could just get another Blood Thief, but I'm going to go with the Unnatural Growth. I'm going to be ambitious. Ooh, another Outland Liberator. Perfectly fine. Destroys an artifact or enchantment. Could possibly do more. 2/2 bear. And then has upside because of Nightbound. And its synergy. Have a Shady Traveler later if I need it. Yeah. Alright, we have enough 2-drops. I think we have enough 2-drops, but it looks like we're going to be picking another 2-drop. Just to confirm. Alright. I think I picked mine of the old ways, because at least I could draw a card with that. Might not make it to the deck, but... oh well. But yeah, black-green is more than open. Kessig Naturalist, try to pull it in. Path to the Festival, be ready to splash it a 3rd color. Also allows for the Unnatural Growth to be easier. Tapping with the window. Put a creature into my hand. I don't want to risk tapping the window. I'm going to take the Path to the Festival because I have 2 green bombs that really want me to get more green. Kessig Naturalist would be great, but I'd rather take the Path to the Festival first. And if that makes it all the way around, you know. Alright. Blood Pact. Get myself some card draw, get myself some late game. Vampire Interloper is great, but I already have 2 Harvesthide Sentries, I already got a Novice Cultist. Like, I've got enough 2-drops as far as I can tell. As far as I can tell. Duel for Dominance, great. Kill Spell. Kill Spell. Gives me a +1/+1 counter as well. Fantastic card. Fantastic card. Whenever another creature dies, even if it kills my opponent's creatures, that's good to know. That's good to know. Alright. I think at this point I need the Shadow Beast sighting just to fill out my curve. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5 2-drops, but a lot of them are, if you count proactive 2-drops. If you count reactive 2-drops, we have much more than 5 2-drops. Oof. Oh well. Alright. Well, white is open. Not sure. I'm going to just put this on the sideboard. But yeah, looked like white was open. Vampire Interloper or another Morkut Behemoth? I'll pick the Behemoth, just in case I need more top end. Another Path through the Festival, again, so I could possibly splash in colors if I need to. If I find like a bomb that's red-green or something like that. Rise of the Ants as my top end. That sounds fantastic. This pack doesn't have much free. I'll probably get the Vampire Interloper back. But the Shadow Beast sighting is also great. Rise of the Ants is just the late game finisher that I needed. So many good cards. Champion of the Perished. Vengeful Strangler. I like the Vengeful Strangler a little better because the Strangler basically acts as a kill spell. So yeah, at the beginning of my upkeep, the child permanent's controller sacrifices a non-land permanent, then that player loses 1 life, so I just put it on one of their creatures. They sacrifice it, they lose a life, immediately triggers Stormcurt Blood Thief. And it's like hard to block because you know that's going to happen. So I could swing in with this and not really have to worry. Alright. I like that for my 2-drop. Bounding Wolf is not even bad. Could consider it as a 3-drop, but I think I'm happy where I am at. Silver Bolt is also much better than you'd expect, so... Alright. Burly Breaker as another top end. We'll take it. I'm definitely going to have to, like, deal with my cards situation, have too many good cards. I'm actually going to pick the Pestilent Wolf to guarantee I have enough early game. I'm not certain. I think I have enough early game, but I need to guarantee it. So I'm going to pick that. Maybe end up pulling out a... What's it called? The Novice Cultist, maybe the Necrosynthesis, something of that nature. But, yeah. Need to make sure I actually have enough early game. Then we'll start getting the heavy stuff. Blade Brand would be nice to have it as an option. Grizzly Ghoul, 4 mana, 4/3 Trampler. That's all I needed to hear. Eaten Alive is pretty nice, but this is... Yeah, we'll get another Eaten Alive. We already have 3 kill spells. Not picking the Eaten Alives might be the mistake that's going to cost me. These green cards are all good, too. But I'm going to start where I know. Need more 4-drops, so Shabby Sai is a great 4-drop. Hey, Vexillian. How's it going? Alright, Eccentric Farmer could get me more lands. Darnheart Rejuvenator might just be the... So it's, I think I'm going to go Burdenmire because I actually need the reach. I think that's my solution, because I don't... My 2 Burdenmires are my 2 solutions to flyers. I guess the duels for dominance, but we definitely have a lot to work on. So our deck, we started out by drafting a Wrenn and Seven, so the rest of the deck has been figuring out what to do with it. So we have a pretty darn good deck, so we're doing good as well. But it's just like one of the feats of, you can see there's 31 cards in here, and there's even more playables in the sideboard, so we're really going to have to figure out what we're doing with this. Alright. Raw and Reunion, if I need more sacrifice outlets. Bounding Wolf or Silver Bolt. I might just pick the Silver Bolt, honestly. Debating a pair of decks, but I don't even have the cards anyway, so I'm not even sure if they'll be good. I'll pick the Bounding Wolf because it is a flash creature. We do have some werewolf synergy. Howl of the Hunt, possibly. Blade Brand, possibly. Timberland Guide or Snarling Wolf. Alright, Auto Picker says Snarling. I'm happy. Alright, well, we have, it looks like, 10 cards to remove from this draft deck. We have work to do, everyone. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, so I can show you after this. I have, like, 12 decks I want to try to build. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are bad, but I want to build them. Alright. Get rid of the stuff that isn't obviously wanted. I'm definitely dropping out at least one Might of the Old Ways. Drop out the Novice Cultist. I already have 2 Burnemires. I don't need the Bounding Wolf. Stormcooked Blood Thief expects too much aggro. I do not have it. 2 drops are still overdone. I'm going to split up the 2 drops a little bit before I just like start ripping out these cards. Because I might want to rip out the Morkut Behemoth, because we did get a Burly Breaker to compete. And we have Diagraph Rebirth. So the top end is good, though, for the Diagraph. But let's just... Alright, not a creature. Come on. Slide right there. Not a creature. Not a creature. Not a creature. Not a creature. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Can I go to 6 lands? Or 16 lands? I think the answer is no. Do I remove the Unnatural Growth? I don't think so. I wish Historic Brawl was 40 life so we had time to do some of these combos. Yeah. The midweek madness isn't always perfect. That's definitely a theme, but... Oh well. I'm assuming your complaint is that there's some aggro deck just completely wrecking that. Sorry to hear that if that's the case. I might have to get rid of the Unnatural Growth. It's a fun card, but it is not a creature itself. I already have big enough creatures. So as much as a natural growth is cool, I think we actually have to cut it. I'll also cut the Ecstatic Awakener. I think we do cut the Necrosynthesis. We still have 2 cuts to go. Let's see. Average mana cost is 3.2. We have good flashback. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flashback cards, so we have top end. So I think I'm good with getting the more cuts. Yes, the Diagraph Rebirth is going to be bringing back the Broly Breaker and possibly the Grizzly Ghoul, and that's it. I think that's okay. If Diagraph Rebirth brings back a Bird Admirer when I need it, I'm happy, honestly. More along the lines I'm used to Commander 4-player, where getting 8 lands is common and easy. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, definitely, the meta is much faster than that. Much faster than that, at least. 2, 3, 4, 5. These are some hard cuts. I honestly think I just lose the Harvest High Sentry because I might not get Coven often enough. Tough deck. Tough deck. We're gonna see if it pans out. We definitely... And the thing is, there's like a whole additional deck. There's a Necrosynthesis, there's Bladebrand, Ecstatic Awakener. There's good cards in... Like, there's a Unnatural Growth. There's good cards out of here. Unfortunate. Also, paper where we have more spell choices. Well, yeah, you're playing Modern, not Historic. You're playing Commander, not Historic. So, right now I'm doing Limited. But yeah, this deck, I'm sure I could rebuild this 6 times and get still good results and still be unsatisfied. I'm certain of it. We're gonna try it as is. This could end up going badly. I have to accept that. Benjihi. Nice to meet you. Alright, we have a Guild Caller into a Hound Tamer. Oh my gosh. That's actually an amazing combat check. So I play Guild Caller. I'm going to attack it with a Decay token, because why not? And I Covetous Cutpurse if they block. Oh man. Let's see how this fares without Sacrifice Outlets. It seems like it's already going to synergize with Covetous Corpse. Alright. Goalish Procession. I'm fine with that. They kill Jadar. I'm going to slow myself down, grab the Hound Tamer. Goalish Procession works on my creatures. That's not what I expected. Alright. They're not blocking that. 0% chance. Alright. I am happy trading my Hound Tamer for the Stormcrook Blood Thief. I'm happy turning it into Knight, and then throwing out Olivia's Midnight Ambush to kill whatever cycling this happens. So the Goalish Procession, I did not realize this card triggers on my creatures as well. That makes this a lot harder. This guy I do want to kill, but it is only a 2/2. It is a card where it snowballs, and currently I have the board presence, which is surprising because I went second. So this person might not be able to support the Stormcrook Blood Thief, and if they can't support the Stormcrook Blood Thief, it's not a threat. I will be blocking with my Hound Tamer. I recognize I could get combat tricked, but 1-for-1, I'm not really concerned about the loss. They just play that to get a 2/2. Makes sense. They might honestly flash it back. Alright. Makes sense. Alright. So it's exiled, so they don't actually get that trigger. So I'm not going to be attacked with a 2/2. Hound Tamers. I could put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So I could just end my turn. Look to put a +1/+1 counter on this. I think it's too early. They have a flashback card. I'd rather develop Bird Admirer. Next turn, I could hold up Olivia's and, like, it's, the effect is much stronger, basically, is all I'm trying to get at. Only works if something dies. Sorry to tell you that. They have one card left at hand and the flashback. Alright. Well, now they don't have enough cards to turn day to night. I think I flipped... No. I'm going to Pestilent Wolf, and I'll... so I can hold up a Death Toucher, and I can always... Olivia still kills Stormkirk as is. Here we are. Oh, and it had 0 power when it died, so Necrosynthesis did nothing. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize that combo. And if they play nothing here... I think that's game. I think that is game. They also agreed that was game. Yep. When they played nothing, when the Necrosynthesis did not trigger, like... Note that 2 of the cards that they played there were 2 cards that I had to pull out. So those Decaying Tokens are resources. You need more sacrifice outlets. They did have some sacrifice outlets, but that card is only a sacrifice outlet. That's all it is. It's support and sacrifice. And the support they were not getting, the sacrifice wasn't worthwhile. And like the main use they could have had for that was to make turn night to day, and they did not save it for that, so we got everything we needed to steamroll. We didn't even get to play Wrenn and Seven, which we had just enough mana for, so that would have just like destroyed their morale probably. All right. So the opponent goes first. Because of that, I'm willing to keep this because we have a Hound Tamer, Bird Admirer on turn 2. If we draw a swamp within the first 2 draws, we could Midnight Ambush something. We have a Shadow Beast Sign with a 4th land. Like, we have good cards. So next turn I play Swamp. I get hold up Olivia's for one of their threats. That's not a threat I think is worth Olivia. Because Olivia only does it... it does not exile. Is basically the main issue. This needs just a 2/1. That's all it is. If they play nothing here, I'll kill it, but... Yeah. I'd rather kill the flyer. Alright. I think Bird Admirer, because that's a 2/1, might be better than Hound Tamer. Yeah. Much harder to blow out, I believe. Hound Tamer does make them not know that I have flying answers, but I just want to play the Reach while I can. I don't want to run into some sort of buff spell. I have issues. Mask of Gristlebrand. Alright. I could hold up the Duel for Dominance and the Olivia's Midnight Ambush. Yeah, they're going to equip the Mask of Gristlebrand. I think that's the correct play. Yeah. So I actually have to kill this, unfortunately, because I need to make sure they don't draw any cards with Mask of Gristlebrand. Alright. I could do this, or I could Hound Tamer and ready the Olivias for next turn. If I draw a land, I get to do that. Alright. Did not draw a land. Oh well. So if they Mask of Gristlebrand... Oh, Olivia's actually is going to make it so they draw no cards after they already play the Mask. I like this play then. Alright. Because Olivia's is going to make it not work out as they hope. I just need one more land for Hound Tamer. So yeah, this needs to fly in Lifelinker. But if they attack in, we swing back, and then when we Midnight Ambush later, they lose the fight. Alright. Figuring it all out. So I do lose some health here, but I'm okay with it. They are constantly spending their mana. I would love to get my kill spells for Gristlebrand. Alright. I'm okay double attacking. If they trade causing 3 creatures to die, I will Grizzly Ghoul and make a monster. Otherwise, I think we just go with another Shadowbeat sighting. They only have 2 cards. They actually need their creature to die. And I'm not letting it die right now. Alright. We got Fading Hope. If they play another card, they could turn Daybound, which is a positive for them. Alright. 6 damage to me. I am winning this race as far as I can tell. Alright. There we go. How's it going, Lambo Droid? We are on the aggressive. And we threaten lethal. Alright, so they had to defenestrate that. It's perfectly fine. We still technically threaten lethal. We're going to wait for them to attack. If they attack with all, Yep. I then use it here to make sure they don't gain any life here. They had a power of negative 10, so they can't really do anything with that. And we have lethal on board. So they have to have a play. Oh, they have a 1/2 flyer. They do have a play. They do have a play. My mistake. Alright, so they locked that one down. So I think I started by attacking with the Shadowbeat sighting, then playing the Grizzly Ghoul. I am running low on health now. This has started to become more of a fight. Diagraph Rebirth would allow me... Yeah, I can't really Blood Pact. I might have to use Blood Pact on them, honestly. My only creature in the grave is Hound Tamer. I think I'm okay playing Grizzly Ghoul, just as Grizzly Ghoul. I might be able to Blood Pact them to make them draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and lose the game. Alright. 3 damage in the air. It's definitely close. Oh, you finally hit him after evacuation. Okay, well, I'm glad you're finally heading home, man. Alright. I'm going to attack with both. I have no choice, really. Grizzly Ghoul has Trample, which really helps. Alright. If they're double blocking, I'm happy. They have that backwards. They have that backwards. There we go. You want to put the 1/2 in front of the 4/3, because the 4/3 has Trample. And you want to put the 2/1 in front of the 4/4. If you do it like this, you're going to be pretty darn low on health. And then I could Blood Pact you. Yeah, if they block like this... If they block like this, I'm going to let them, if they want to draw cards, to do so. So if they draw 2 cards, pay 2 life. Perfect. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Oh. Made it close. Made it very close. 2-color green black? Yeah, is 2-color green black. The deck has Wrenn and Seven in it. Like, my first pick was Wrenn and Seven, an insane mythic planeswalker. And then I just kind of found support along the way. Ended up being red-black. Do I have Outland Liberator? This is what I was looking for. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is a very important card for, like, that sort of fight. I kept finding Hound Tamer instead and think it was the Outland Liberator and be like, oh yeah, I have the removal for their enchantment. And then didn't turn out that way. I don't think Return to Nature is good enough to just be played as is, but also I might take out the Might of Muramasa for something. Just haven't found the opportunity for Coven to actually appear. And if Coven doesn't appear, Might of Muramasa is a bad giant growth. So, considering that, basically it's a 2-mana +2/+2, but if you have 3, effectively, if you have 3 creatures and play it smart, it draws a card as well. And so if it's a +2/+2 draw card, that is an insane combat trick, but it's not always, and I think it's not going to happen often enough for me to be playing that. Opponent goes first. We have a 2-drop into leave my... This is such a stupid hand to be keeping, but we have a 2-drop into a very good 4-drop. And we're and I was hoping we'd draw 0 more land. I was hoping that we were done with lands. And, like, this is a 2-drop that if I don't play a spell next turn, I am happy. And that's a 5-drop that I'm happy to see. With this curve, Outland Liberator is way better. Or Wrenn and Seven is great with this many lands. As long as they don't have Duress here, I'm good. They don't have Duress because they're not in those colors. If they want Gavany Trapper, I'm happy with that. They deal 2. It flips, I deal 3. If you want a Gavany Trapper again, I'm happy. Otherwise, I have a 3/5 stopping you. Alright, it's night. And my night looks stronger. Looks scarier. Alright. If they turn it to day... Alright. No artifacts or enchantments here. I could Olivia's Midnight Hunt, but I think it's just stronger. I want to just develop board presence and make it so they can't... So the reason I'm doing this instead of Olivia's is because this way, they can't really do anything on this board. It's just kind of, no one's moving anywhere. And the next turn I can Wrenn and Seven, -3, and they just really cannot stop it. Alright.
The entire forest is an army.
So yeah, Rise of the Ants, good card, but Wrenn and Seven, better card. Got a 5/5 with Reach, and then I still have Wrenn and Seven around who could make another 5/5 with Reach if they don't get through this board, which have fun getting through this board. If I attack with Beast, it's literally just called Beast. If I attack with Beast, I could possibly get some combat trick maneuvers on them as they block with 2 3/3s. Olivia is one of them, that sort of effect. But yeah, right now they're basically, they want... That's an instant speed spell, sir. You're supposed to use that as a combat trick. I'm happy to punish you for it, but thought you should know. Alright. So either they're killing Wrenn and Seven, or I'm taking a trade like this, and Wrenn and Seven lives for me to get more tokens, and just keep building an impressive board. I lose my Ween Shredder. Alright, I lose my Frenzy Trapbreaker. I think that's okay. Alright. Ah. Hey, that's perfectly fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. If they try to attack again, I have Olivia's Midnight Ambush to trick them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, next turn I have 7 for Shadow Beast Sighting, and then I have 8 for Rise of the Ants. So I am winning this long game. So let's make the game long. If they don't kill Wrenn and Seven, I get to minus Wrenn to make another 6/6. That is, in case you're wondering, it is gain bigger. Alright. Let me draw a few cards real fast.
Harming us will only unleash inferno.
Alright. Well, they've made sure I can't use Wrenn, but what I can do is Swamp, so I could Shadow Beast Sighting. Yeah, I'm not playing Wrenn, it looks like.
Bask in nature's beauty.
Let's just try to slaughter them now. Yep. They get to take out Wrenn, but they have to spend resources taking out Wrenn, and I have 11 mana for my Rise of the Ants and Shadow Beast. I have 2 Reachers. And yep, they had to. They did that wrong. They're supposed to use Gavany Trapper. Oh, they're using the Gavany Trapper to tap down the 11/11. I got it. I got it. Yep, so here's where they use the Gavany Trapper. And we'll still attack for a ton. I'm nearly above Olivia's Midnight Ambush. By the way, can I just state that we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are, I think, 3, 4 lands left in this deck. Something like that. So let's see, 4, 5, 6, 12. 12 out of 7. There's 5 lands left in this entire deck. Alright, well they know what's coming. And I have Might of the Old ways to actually cause the 3/3 to combat trick if they block with their 4/4. That's okay block for me. That's the block I wanted to see. And I'm going to just let day become night, or night become day. That way Olivia's, if they don't even have that spell, what am I even doing? But just give myself additional means of lethal. Yep. Wrenn did good. Wrenn did good. Glad to know that the bomb that I picked actually was a bomb, you know. But it turns out the 5/5 tree folk that just keeps getting bigger is a bomb. And we got to 3 wins, which is our minimum for considered a victory. Everyone upon this is all bonus jam, delicious food, and great to have, but 3 wins is where you need to go minimum, basically. At the 3rd win, you gain 750 gems, and it's just... Alright. I have a Jadar, I then have Burdenmire, and then I get a hold up Olivia's for the next turn, basically. If I draw a Swamp, I get a hold up double Olivia's, and that'd be great. Yeah. Don't you worry, I'm not attacking into that. Alright, so here's the thing. If I attack with both, they will play their 3/1, block, or I could just kill it with Olivia's. I don't want that. I would rather just attack with my zombie. Let's admire some birds. Alright. So yeah, we got probably one of our best 2-drops for aggression. And we went first. So if we could draw a land here, we have some amazing stuff in store. And if we don't draw a land here, we're still pretty fine. I see. 3-color deck. Huh. Do I Olivia's or do I think I have I think I want to just attack with this and let the day become night. They seem to be limited on options, so the 3/5 is much more threatening. Of all the MTG mechanics I've seen, which is probably not that many, I think the day-night is my favorite so far. It's a really cool concept of mechanic. The fact that every day-night card like interacts with each other the same way is really like nice flavor-wise. So killed stick figures. They have a lot of creatures in their graveyard. Alright. I'm gonna just attack with the zombie, get the damage in now, I think. I just realized if I wait till I draw a land, I could have played with Grizzly Ghoul. That was a mistake to attack with a decaying zombie. Oh, hey, Somersault Jump! It was a really clever way to make the werewolf mechanic work with cards other than werewolves. I do agree. And then just like, yeah. I really like how the day-night turned out. So right now, we are playing a deck with Wrenn and Seven, even though it's in limited, which is insane. Right now, we're kind of relying on Olivia's Midnight Ambush to just apply way more damage to our opponent than we should be able to. Rite of Oblivion, they can't play because they need to exile a permanent. Alright, they play Stick Figures again, and I'm going to Midnight Ambush it again. And we just keep applying pressure. They're dead in a few turns, unless they find an answer. They haven't had an answer yet, so we're just relying that they still don't find an answer. Vengeful Strangler, I believe, it is on my turn that it actually triggers, so that's one issue. And now they have an answer, thanks to Rite of Oblivion plus that little 1/1. And I cannot find a land for the life of me. But that's okay. The moment I find a land, we have Shadow Beast Sighting into Grizzly Ghoul into... We have a Pestilent Wolf this turn if we need it. I'm okay attacking with a Vengeful Strangler. Trading the 1/1, putting a target on the 3/3. Alright, turn to today. Well done on their part. So if I attack, I could put it on there. They have to Rite of Oblivion to slow me down. Not getting... I think I might just Harvesthide Sentry just to get the unblockable clause. Leave the Vengeful Strangler around. They are going to be using Rite of Oblivion next turn is my guess. The Diagraph Rebirth on the Tireless Hauler might end up bad for me. Which, by the way, they brought back old Stick Figures, not Tireless Hauler. I don't understand their decision-making there. Do I want to attack with a Vengeful Strangler is basically my issue. I think the answer is no, because it just dies to the Clarion Cathar. Even though it gets to enchant the Clarion Cathar, it dies to it, and it just ends up being net even. And this makes it so they actually have to net respond, which is a different thing. And still having 3 lands this entire time is definitely a negative that I've been working with. But I'm surprised I've been able to do as well as I have, given the situation. They have enough to just Diagraph Rebirth at will. Old Stick Figures putting all their creatures in their graveyard effectively will give them... Because, yeah, they can Old Stick Fingers for 7. Turn it into, like, an 8/8. Or they could do that, okay. Have a 7/6. And then they Old Stick Fingers. Okay. Power 2 or less. So literally, it's not... Nothing even helps there. Yes, I would like to put this on your Morkut Behemoth. Yes, you would like to take damage here. There we are. 7/6 max gets double blocked. Or I could just not block, and yeah, I'm not going to block. I'm going to be the aggressor here. I'm surprised they played Old Stick Fingers without pumping it. They could have made it an 8/8, and if they had more... I guess they have no disturb cards. That would explain why they're doing it this way. But yeah, they had to Rise of Oblivion the 4/4, which isn't even that bad for me. If they attack, I'm happy. If they don't attack, I Vengeful Strangler. Yep, okay. Do I just attack with all? Let's see if they... So they only have the cards here. So crawl from the cellar. If they crawl from the cellar, they get to make the zombie giant bigger, and then I attack with all. And... Yep. I think I just swing with all. Yeah. They would need specifically a kill spell that also sacrifices a creature to kill me. And there's just so many bad situations here for them. Alright, they're at 2 health. 2 creatures died, so this comes out as a 6/5, I believe. Yep. So they have to take care of the 6/5. They have to reanimate something. They have to make sure the Vengeful Strangler gets stopped without killing it. Like, they have a lot of things they need to do. I don't see how they do it. They could have rebirthed something, but it's currently the day, so Tireless Hauler doesn't even help. So that last card has to be a solution to this situation. Alright. So if I attack with Vengeful Strangler, they have to block. I get to put it on the Morkut Behemoth, which means that has to die. If I attack with all, everything gets blocked and killed, so that is not a good idea. So I'm just going to attack with a Vengeful Strangler and nothing more. Force the 1/1 to sacrifice itself. Or they could just block with a Morkut. Yeah, they want to block with a Morkut. That's the correct choice. And then I put it on the Morkut. There we go. Another land gives me Rise of the Ants. And every land after that gives me a play. Yeah, every land, the next 3 lands give me a play, which is pretty awesome. And on my turn, they're going to lose a life through Morkut Behemoth. And even if they swing in with Morkut, they need 2 creatures, or I just swing in with all and win. Yep. Looks completely lost for the opponent. I mean, I think so, but I'm gonna... We're not going to count them out until they do it, because there is... When I was in a situation like this, I then Rite of Blooded someone to cause them to lose the rest of their life. But yeah, if they have like small, tiny creatures like Lunarch Veteran, and they reanimate a good body here, they're actually they're actually still in this game. Yeah. That is not the body you want to reanimate. Sir, this entire time there was a 4/5 in there for you to reanimate, and you never did. Ah, that's why you were doing the Flesh Taker. Gain life and scrying. Alright, well, Grizzly Gal. Alright. So I do have to leave up the 2 1/4s to stop the Morkut Behemoth next turn. But I've definitely attacked with a Grizzly Ghoul. And I see no reason not to attack with a Pestilent Wolf. Let's see. If I attack, they have to block with at least 4 power. If they block with all, they're out of luck. These 2 turn into 3/5s. I can double block and not kill the Morkut Behemoth if I want to. Let's see. If they block with 2... Okay, hold on. If I attack with all, triple block, they lethal. Oh yeah, they don't get out of this. They don't get out of this. Took me a little while to realize, but they do not get out of this. How's it going, Mindful Line? my headphones just gave out. Rip audio. Yeah, so Grizzly Ghoul having Trample is just so important. That was very necessary for this win to occur. If it didn't have Trample, this would have been a lot harder. But now they have to triple block to stop the Grizzly Ghoul. They still need to block one more creature. Yep. Oof, we were mana ruined that entire game, and we still found a way through. That feels good. That feels really good. We were at 3 lands for the majority of that game. Ugh. Alright. Well, we keep on moving. We keep on moving. Alright. Change the art used to represent your deck by dragging a card. Right. Alright. I'm doing fine. I'm also thinking about making a deck at the moment. Not sure if I should actually craft anything, but I feel like I can never use wild cards anyways. Exactly where I am. So I have... So first of all, let's look at this hand. Jadar, great. Duel for Dominance with all the decay tokens probably works. Shall be sighting another turn, great. We have enough lands. We have Digraph Rebirth later. It's not all... This is not a perfect hand by any means, but as a 2-drop, it has what could be a turn 3 if I need it, and it has a 4-drop. It has a card that's not bad. Yep, and they knocked one down, so if they're slow enough, we actually get the benefit there, so that's good. But yeah, every time there's a new set, I try to make like a dozen new decks, and it was just like, you know, didn't have enough for all of them. So I could Duel for Dominance to kill the Beloved Beggar, but I see no point in it. It's 1-for-1 with the Decay token, and it just seems needless. I'll attack with both, so that the Beloved Baker has to block. If they use a combat trick, I have 2 different combat tricks to counter them with. So I will attack like so. If they're like, ha, I play the 3-1, you have been fooled, well then I just kill the 3-1. Yep. That's okay. And then Jadar makes a new one. And I have Olivia's. Next turn I have Shadow's Beast Sighting. Unfortunate. Alright, I'm just going to Shadow Beast here. I'm not going to worry about the Morning Patrol just yet. I try to attack with the 2-2. I get it back. It scares them into thinking there's combat. Actually, no, not attacking shows them that I don't have combat tricks, so next turn when I have combat tricks, it's scarier. Warm Cup Behemoth. Alright. So I go Olivia's and still Grizzly Ghoul. Alternatively, I could just Grizzly Ghoul, get myself a 4-5. I'm muting that. I just need to figure out what my turn is, you know? So if I do this, I could still Blood Pact later. Okay. Does mean the more Crypt Behemoth is much more threatening, but I think this is alright. Play to land this turn. This should be okay. Ooh. Don't think I'm really good at the game. Often I'm happy with just 3 wins. Hey, 3 wins is a great thing to be happy with. That's actually a fantastic thing to be happy with. I really like Istix, the Auric Overlord, and I know several sacrifice effects that could make a fun deck, so I'm trying something around that card. I can actually show you what I kind of had an idea for a black-white sacrifice deck, because I was thinking of adding Exodus myself to it. I just couldn't find a way to do it properly. So, definitely, I could see the Exodus deck seeing some play with just what deep density we have of sacrifice effects, basically. So, definitely could see it. Mardu, yeah, I could definitely, yeah, and adding the 3rd color works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Don't you worry about that. Alright, the 7/6 attacks in. I'm just going to let it happen. Alright. So I could duel for Dominance and Grizzly Ghoul on the same turn. Okay. So here's a funny trick. I could attack with my zombie. I could duel for Dominance with it, and then Covetous Cutpurse to kill the Morcutt's Behemoth. Alright. Let's see if this order works as expected. Nope, not as speed as expected. Oh well. Alright, let's take out full control. I have a 5/4. I can use it to block the 7/6 if I need to. So I could, like, block the zombie, then duel for Dominance the 7/6. Alright. So I have 3 different powers. Why didn't my plan work? The decay trigger happened immediately. I thought it was gonna I could deal damage and then use duel for Dominance before it got sacrificed, but it got sacrificed immediately, so it did not. That's why it did not work. All right. Well, we have a Diagraph Rebirth for the Grizzly Ghoul. Actually, they have a Wrenn Reunion to stop that. That's unfortunate for me. Do I attack with a Jadar and basically say there's a combat... Hey, there's a combat trick. Or, let's see, if I do that, I could might have old ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm winning the race. I think I need to just keep racing. So what I'm going to do is this, and then I hit the oops to... I hate to do this, but you have to oops to make them think, ha, you weren't supposed to attack with Jadar. And, like, I don't like doing that, but it's the best way to make them think I don't have a combat trick. Like, honestly, getting blown out is not even bad for them. Alright. Well, I killed their flyer, which feels good for me, even though I lost the creature in it. But here's the thing, they tapped out, and that's very important, because now everything died in there, and I Diagraph Rebirth, bringing back Grizzly Ghoul, and all those creatures died. It's a 7/6. So now they can regain a 4/4 Flying Vigilance. Alright. Death Toucher, that's fine. So they do need to leave 2 mana open to exile my creature as I Diagraph Rebirth it, unless they want to sacrifice to Diagraph Rebirth now. Nah, you want to play that card, sir. Alright. Let's just try to kill him. That looks great and all, but you have to keep remembering, the more creatures that die... Grizzly Ghoul is great, by the way. Oh my gosh. So, there's been a lot of questions while I've been playing this game. I'm going to finish this game, and then I'm going to answer the questions. Well, I'm not sure if they're questions, but a lot of comments. You can't full control to do something in response to decay. Yeah, no, not to decay. After it deals combat damage, it dies. So, let's read the ability so that we can confirm. So... with... oh, hey, by the way, platinum. Platinum. So, decay. A creature with decayed can't block when it attacks, sacrifice it at end of combat. I didn't know if there was a moment during end of combat that happened after the damage was dealt, but before end of combat triggers occur. I thought what would happen is decayed would be on the stack, and then I could do the duel for dominance on the stack above the Decayed, so it duels, and then the Decay triggers. And then I do it. That's what I expected to happen. That is not what happened. It's once it deals damage, it dies. So that is an important distinction to make. I think that is correct wording. I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the precision there. Could be Arena just throwing you the second main phase instead of the end combat step? Yeah, full control would stop if there was actually something I could interact there. Players are supposed to receive priority during the combat damage step. So what happened is the damage was declared, and once damage is declared, all damage is declared at once, and Decayed apparently triggers at some point during the declared damage step. And that's the thing I didn't understand. Because I want to deal damage, and then I want to duel for dominance. And that was not what worked out for me. Nonetheless, Grizzly Gal did its job. We keep going. I want to, like, I'm not complaining at all. You guys have to remember, we have 0 losses right now. We are doing fantastic. We got Wrenn only 1 game, and yet we have 5 wins and 0 losses. If we go 3 losses, and like, I recognize I might have just jinxed myself. But if I get 3 losses here, if I get 3 losses in a row, I'm still happy with my result. I gained 100 gems from this process. But yeah, if I get another, every other win is a bunch of additional gems. So we're going to go for the full 7. Go for the 7-0 while we can. Alright. I have a Vengeful Strangler into 2 Olivia's Midnight Ambushes. This is probably the worst hand I'm keeping. I still find it odd with the end of combat step, but still, I'm still fairly new. Yeah, there's a lot of things of like, is this a phase or is this just declared? And that's not always clear. And it just turned out that was the case there. So now I show that I'm the aggressor. If they kill it, I will covert cut purse, I think. Otherwise, I think I'm just gonna... Hey, that's a good spell, by the way, sir. I think I just go with this. Yeah. So that really sucks. Vengeful Strangler is one of the scenes where you want them to have to play a creature after, and that's not what happened there. Ward, discard a card. Ouch. Alright. Ward is still discard a card. That's all that matters. I'm in a bad spot, everyone. I did not draw my land. They had a good turn 2 into turn 3. Alright, it has 2 health now. Oh! It's night! Why am I blocking? This thing deals 13 damage right now. Why did I bother blocking? That thing deals 13 damage. Land, please? Nope. Alright, fine. Let's get a... They turned it day just in time. Just in time. Can't block. Yeah, so I made a mistake there. I lost my covert cut purse when I shouldn't have. And now it's dealing... Okay, so they have a good deck. 1, they have a very good deck. 2, we had a very bad hand. This is a very bad hand. We're gonna let them... I just realized we're both stuck on 3 lands. But they're more able to use the 3 lands to their advantage. This is only +2, correct? Alright, I'm gonna kill this thing during their turn since it has flying. Alright, let's draw a land. Fine. I'll try that with a Voldaren Ambusher. At this point, I think we're the control deck, which sounds horrible given the how south the situation has gone. That isn't how it works on MTGA Arena online. That is good to know. So I might actually be getting ruined there. Good to know. Well, I mean, one more. We knew we had to draw lands. I knew I made a mistake. There's plenty of reasons this all went south. Gee, thanks for coming by, land. Appreciate it. Alright, well, this guy is giving me a little more time. Covetous Corpus will allow me to block the Vampire Interloper. Okay. I think I just have to duel for dominance right now to prevent that theme from getting any bigger. And before they get another Olivia's Midnight Hunt. To prevent it from going tonight as well. If I search Decayed, it is also described as a triggered ability. So you can't... Oh yeah, you can respond to a triggered ability. So you're right, that is... If it's a delayed trigger, then you're correct. I should have been able to respond to it. Oh well. Oh well. I'm gonna block this one, so that if they have the Hungry for More, whatever it's called... If they have the Hungry for More, I lose. If they have the Hungry for More, I already lose. I'm at 3 health. They have a Stormkirk Blood 3. Like, they're in a very good position. I'm in a very bad one, okay? Except the position you're in. This thing's gonna become a 4/4. Yeah. And we are dead on board. Even in the announcement for Wizards, it says it's a triggered ability. Alright, so that was the arena screwing me over, so it doesn't have to screw you guys over. Alright, well, I block like this so I don't die. If they just attacked with all, I would have died. Here, now, I actually might have some sort of awkward, unbelievable opportunity of coming back. I don't believe it, but we're going to have faith. We're going to hope upon hope. Alright, that's 6. This seems basically a 4/5 first striker. I'm going to play the Death Toucher, just in case they're foolish enough. But yeah, if they just attacked with all that turn, that'd be game. Alright. Yep. So, I slipped up on the lands. They had the better aggressive deck. I slipped up. I made a mistake. There were definitely enough reasons that I could have played better and had a better odds. But I think at the end of the day, that was a very strong, very aggressive vampire deck. Definitely good to try to see where my weaknesses are. The Covetous Cutpurse block was unnecessary. Olivia's Midnight Hunt was active. Playing the... I guess I wouldn't have known I wasn't the aggressor yet by the time I played the Strangler. But maybe, you know, it's considerations that I need to consider, Surf Theme. Alright. So I really hate mulliganing, and this has a Shadow Beast sighting and a 3-drop if I need it. My deck actually has a pretty heavy curve, and it also has a lot of 2-drops, so I'm happy. There's 2 Olivias, there's 5 creatures, there's enough that I can draw that wins this hand. This is a great turn 3 play where I attack and then Covetous. This is a great turn 4 play, I already have the lands for it. They're playing a slower hand, and a slower hand is good for me. I think that single-handedly shows me I don't like how many... I don't like that I just drew straight lands, but I'm happy that if it happened now. I do not like that at all. Oh my god. If I let that flip... So if I covert Cutpurse, I can't really target it. If I let it flip, I can Shadow Beast sighting and then later duel for dominance, discarding one of my lands. Ugh. Graveyard Trespasser, you are just the bane of my existence, I guess. If it's a creature, they probably want to put it in their grave to, so that they could drain me with Graveyard Glutton. So Shadow Beast Sighting can block, so that's good. They don't exile their own creature. That actually surprises me quite a bit. Well, I'm not using this or this. Anytime soon, at least. Well, I'm actually glad I had the lands discard to No Way Out, because just showing how many lands I have. They are cycling through their deck very effectively, but those larger zombies are just cycling through their deck. If they're the control of the two of us, I think they're going to be very disappointed once I play my planeswalker. Should I play my planeswalker? Alright, next turn I could Covert Purse. And, oh yeah, they take out my Shadow Beast Sighting with that. That's unfortunate for me. A lot of misfortune here. Alright, it is night. So I could Outland Liberator. And I could block Might of the Old Ways in response. And if they kill... If they have some sort of theme to kill my Frenzied Trap Breaker before the Might of the Old Ways, I could... Oh no, Duel for Dominance doesn't work because I don't get the +1/+1 counter. Never mind. I have to Might of the Old Ways to get this kill. Let's see if they have a counterspell. Because I have to do this now because if they have a counterspell, I want to see that counterspell now. Not after. Alright. Organ Harvester stops my attack, unfortunately. Unless I want to use Covetous Duel, just to lose... Just to take out the Organ Harvester. They have a Devious Cover-Up counter deck, it seems like. Meanwhile, I have lands the deck. The fact that the Organ Harvester can still attack is a devastating blow. I think I might just have to block. No. I'm going to play the Covetous Purse next turn, and I can block. I can use that. Trade into the Diagraph Horde. Yep, they're exiling my deck, and I can't exile. I can't touch theirs. You're late, Wrenn. Are you even here fast enough? They're going to sacrifice the K tokens to get through, and I do not care. They're tapped out, so they can't stop Wrenn with a counterspell, because they have a Devious Cover-Up. If they have one, they have two. That's my guess.
And perhaps we can, from root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
Alright. So they get a sift through their deck. They like whatever's on top. Helps them deal with Wrenn and Seven. I am now willing to block the Organ Harvester with my Frenzied Trap Breaker. I just have to deal with it. Alright, well they had to eat alive a token. That has to be a positive in its own right. Alright. So, Wren's dying. Nothing I can do about it. Yeah, if they're attacking with the decaying tokens, they want to put them both. Alright. Nothing I can do about that. We're still at 20 health, which makes this so much harder for me.
The forest will be overrun.
Alright. Yeah, no, I'm in a bad spot. What'd they do to put me in this bad spot again? They had Olivia's Midnight Hunt. They had No Way Out. Oh, right, the Graveyard Keeper. Just a 3-mana 3/3 that becomes a 4/4. That's what happened. Okay. Yep, they have lethal very soon. And that's concerning. That's concerning in its own right. Like, my win condition right now is them milling. And that's not a win condition you want to have. Alright. That helped. That helped a lot. That helped an absolute ton. 17 cards in their deck. And they liked what was on top. I never like it when they like what's on top. Alright, Jaren. So don't put them at exactly 13 health, and I'll be alright. Alright. The Decayed is 6 damage. So if I block like this, I take 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't do that. Alright. Hate this. Absolutely hate this. But it keeps me from dying. This only works on humans, right? Yep. Alright, well the decay triggers trigger. Getting those out of the way. I am in bad spot, but I'm not in dead spot. And that's all. That I have to accept that. Alright, now I'm in dead spot. Do I have to duel for dominance the... I have to duel for dominance the freaking siege zombie, I think. That's so sad. Yep. And they have lethal on board, I think. Yep. Well, they had higher pressure. Oh well. As I said, even if I lost 3 times in a row, I'd be alright. But didn't think I'd jinx myself that freaking hard. Did not think I'd jinx myself that freaking hard, guys. It hurts. It really does hurt. Just keep getting those turn 3 on curve werewolves that immediately flip. Like that happened in both games. They got on turn 3 that 3/3 werewolf that flips to a 4/4 has ward discard a card, and then it flipped by their next turn. Like that happened both times. So that was a thing that happened both times. Do I have to consider, like, do I have to play this next game saying if I don't have a turn 3 play, I can't keep it because then they'll flip to midnight and I'll get run over? Like, is that actually a consideration I have to have? I think the answer is no. Sometimes you get bad hands, sometimes that's variance. I got my 3 wins, you gotta be happy that the variance took its time to get here. Smack me down from 7 win, but let me get my gems where I need them. Alright. Do I mulligan? I do have a 2-drop into a kill. I'm mulliganing. I'm throwing back the Might of the Old Ways. I want the Outland Liberator, and I want the... Then I could flip it. And I want the Shadow Beast Sightings, because that's how I'm going to win this game. I have like 3 draws. I have 3 draws out of land, as well as draws at 2 drops. So, or right there. Bird Admirer. Do you have a 2-drop? If you miss your drop, you're in one nightmare of a scenario. Alright. I'll trade. I'll trade. Alright, so here's the question. Do I trade the 1/4 for a 2/2? The answer is no. I will trade the 1 for the Lunarch Veteran, but not for the Flesh Taker. You attack away, sir. You attack away. You now are left open for my counter attack. If they don't play a card here, I'm assuming they have Midnight Ambush. Just 100%. If they're leaving 3 mana open. Alright. If they attack with 2/3, I get a double block. If they attack with Flesh Taker, I block. They have to sacrifice both to protect the Flesh Taker. I'm okay 2/1ing with a Shadow Beast. Definitely not a good situation for me, but it's a situation where I don't die horribly, and I have to accept that after my last 2 games. Definitely think the mulligan was correct. I've since drawn Birdmire and 2 lands, which is actually a fine theme. If I would like to stop drawing lands, I would definitely like to draw other cards, but I can accept the situation I'm in. There are a lot of 4-drops, but usually they're for colors other than black and white. So if there's any other color combination, I think I would block the Flesh Taker to force them to pay the mana to use a combat trick. Alright, no attacks. No plays? They have to play something here, or else I flip. And I recognize that's a 4/4. But this card, man. Every single game, this card. Every single game, this card showed up. If I attack, I get to take out something, and that's enough for me. If they block and sacrifice, I'm getting rid of a creature in play. That's enough for me. Take your small victories where you can. And I'm not letting that thing flip. Graveyard Trespasser has been in the deck of every single person I faced. Alright. But, yeah, I'm killing the Flesh Taker, I think, between the two. Alright. Shadow Sighting is a very good card. As long as they can't attack with their Graveyard Trespasser, I could Shadow Beast Sighting stuff. Problem is, they have a white card to give it +3/+3 and indestructible, which means that even blocking with the beast isn't exactly the safest. I do have to double block with it and Bird Admirer, because that means if they have Olivia's, I still kill. But if they have the 3/3 indestructible, they kill and don't lose their creature. I'm saying if they attack with their Graveyard Trespasser. In case anyone's curious. Black-white seems to be a pretty good color combination. It's been doing its work. Crawl from the cellar. Alright. Happy to see it. I think I just attack again. This time Flesh Taker can block, but this time I can block the Shady Traveler. I can kill the Shady Traveler. They cannot crawl from the cellar Shady Traveler and play something with it. If they let it through, then I just play another Shadow Beast Sighting. Keep the day from night. If they block a combat trick, I have a Covetous Cut Purse. If I draw some land, I have Shadow Beast Sightings for days. And nights. Days and nights. Definitely not in a good position. Cannot deny I'm in a bad position. But I am not in a dead position, and that has to be acceptable. If I draw a land, I might have to just keep it in my hand so I could actually target the Trespasser with Covetous Cutpurse. I might just have to play Covetous Cutpurse as a way to... There's things I might have to do. Oof. Definitely putting them in a hard situation. This board state is clogged. Alright. They flip the world. If I attack like this, I could kill... Yep. I'm okay with that. This looks like a bad attack. And that's exactly why they won't block. They want to double block the Ring Shredder with 4/4 and the 1/1. I kill the 1/1, deal 2 damage to the... Alright. Do I want to kill the Graveyard Trespasser or the Stalking Predator? If I kill the Stalking Predator, if I kill the Graveyard Trespasser, I have to lose the Burdenmire. Scary? Ain't it? That's the point. Oof. Block like that. Alright. I see. So I'll kill the Flesh Taker. And let's see. Do I want to kill the Graveyard Glutton and lose the Burdenmire? Or kill the Stalking Predator? They have a reanimation, so I'm going to kill the Stalking Predator. You know, I was incorrect. I should have actually blocked to... I should have changed the order to kill the Stalking Predator. My mistake. Oh well. Because they were definitely going to buff like so. Alright. So now I kill the 4/1. Now I kill the Flesh Taker again. I have a 4/4 to block the Graveyard Glutton. I have a Burdenmire in hand. They are just like holding down the board in a way that I just can't interact with. Hopefully they double spell, making this an easier board for me to interact with. If they Graveyard Glutton, I think I just have to triple block. Maybe just double block? Yeah, double block. Stalking Predator gets through for 4. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah, Graveyard Glutton is scary to see attack because it prevents me from flashing back my Shadow Beast sightings. That's even scarier. And we answered your scariness with something even more threatening, and I appreciate it. This is one deadly scary night. This is one night to be indoors and away from all of this. The 8/7 swinging in next turn, in case you're wondering. I'm killing that Dreadhound. I do not care what it costs me. They will crawl up from the cellar. I recognize that. But that is very slow, and it allows me to start swinging in with the others while they pull it out of the cellar. Gosh, yeah, this is just kind of, we're stuck. We're both stuck. Alright. I am happy to block that with my 8/7 and my 2/1. Alright. I mean, they have to have a combat trick. Why else would they make this play? I'm just trying to think what combat trick. So if I do this, I'm getting blown out by something. They are all transforming back next turn. I think this is okay. They're transforming back to day next turn. They want to kill that. Alright, there it is. Darn it. If I had blocked the bigger creature, I could have stopped that. But, oh well. Dreadhound is still a threat that I have to deal with. If they use their return from the grave now, then I don't have to deal with them bringing back the Dreadhound, should I find a kill for it. Which is good. Covetous Cutpurse gets to become a Flying Death Toucher, worst case. Best case, I do not know what best case is, honestly. This is not the best situation. Alright, so they Cellar Door, pull back that guy. Alright. I'm going to get myself a Flying Death Toucher. And if I draw a land next turn, I can still Shadow Beast Sighting to kill the, after the Graveyard Trespasser attacks in. Which is good. But yeah, they're sacrificing and scrying a ton, and that's definitely going to become an issue later on. This is, again, I still think they're in the advantage position, but it's like, it's very close. They can't attack in easily, you know. I like you in my deck, sir. I'm so happy you're in my deck.
Those who hunt heed the trees. They prepare for war.
Next turn I could plus play a Shadow Beast Sighting. Wrenn might just pull me out of this game. Might. They can't if they attack with everything, they lose. So that's also good. Outland Liberator destroys artifacts and enchantments, so I can't sack this if I have to. If they play nothing this turn for the Alright, so they don't block with it, they don't attack with the Dreadhound. They exile the Shadow Beast Sighting. Makes sense. Alright. So let's see. 4/4 blocks here. 6/6 blocks here. Do I block the 2/2 Death Toucher here, or do I block on the Flesh Taker? Honestly, I think I block on the Flesh Taker, force them so that they cannot sacrifice well enough to actually kill. And then, that means I take 1 point of damage on Wrenn, but I don't care about that 1 point of damage, because it doesn't kill. I probably should have double blocked the Graveyard Trespasser, but it's alright. They need to have a buff spell for that 1/1, otherwise this Flesh Taker... Yeah, so they're gaining a bunch of life, and I'm getting chipped away. They're scrying a lot, but this ends with their board basically being blown out, except for the Dreadhound. And I have a Tree Folk that keeps getting bigger.
We may bend, but never break.
And then they get the exile for the last Shadow Beast Sighting. Unfortunate on my part. Oh well. Oh well.
Which soil grows mighty forests.
Alright. With this, I should have the late game taken care of. Next turn I could plus Wrenn again. And if I draw, even if I get Army of the Ants in my grave, I can play it immediately. And then I can just minus Wrenn to get myself another Tree Folk, be done with Wrenn. and move on with my life. And then start wrecking this guy's face in. Alright. Making a lot of zombies, but we took out their sacrifice outlets. One land.
We can foster much growth.
I think I just Rise of the Ants immediately. Yep. Next turn I could possibly swing in. $14 cards left in the deck. I think it's time I actually -3, just make another one. Yep. Just get 2 9/9s. Hopefully that's good enough on his part. If I attack with a Tree Folk, how do they block? With a 1/1 Flying Spirit, I think. If I attack with this, it becomes a lot harder to block. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these two get... So this stucks these. So then, yeah. Let's start closing out the game little by little. If they block with a Dreadhound, I could pump it. Double block. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, so not enough to do that. Doesn't matter. I kill one of the Diagraph Hordes. That's good enough for me. 2 creatures died. Get a 6/5. And Jadar. Other wolves and werewolves you control have trample. Well, I mean, we know what we're doing. We're blocking with a 3/3, with a 3/3, with a 1/4, and a 3/3. Actually, we're blocking with a 6/5. We're not letting the Tree Folk get touched. The Dreadhound is the biggest threat right now. We cannot deny that. But they're running out of creatures. They can't deny that. Awesome. So I can actually start with a duel for dominance. Alright, so we're left with an 11/11, 2 3/3s. Alright, so 11/11, 3/5, and a 3/3. I think that's... Yep. Probably could be more aggressive, but it's okay. If they quadruple block, they could kill my Pumper. But if they quadruple block, they have issues. Alright, 3/3. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, 23, 24, 25. I think this is lethal. Oh my gosh, Wrenn pulled me out of that. Oh my gosh, Wrenn. I needed you there. Oh my gosh. Math is for blockers. Yep, famous phrase. Of course, as the attacker, I actually needed it. Alright, last game. Whether I win or lose, this is my last game. Oh man. Oh man. Well, math is for blockers, and the blocker sure didn't do the math. Alright. Jadar into Bird Admirer or Hound Tamer into Shadow Beast Sighting. And I go first. So I can actually take an aggressive curve. I like how Jadar is just good, even if I don't have anything to go with it. Like, Jadar is just good. Yeah, I like Hound Tamer here because 3/3 trample is better than 1/4 reach when I have nothing else to do with the body. Also, the fact that I could just Hound Tamer to Alright. There we go. Next strike is Shadow Beast Sighting. Force them to want to deal with my Hound Tamer. We're facing Jeskai. 3 color. So this 3/3 can actually kill both using Duel for Dominance as a combat trick. So I want them to block my 3/3. Alright. Do I just Shadow Beast Sighting then? Yeah, I think I just Shadow Beast Sighting then. And I'm just building up pressure. Silver bolts. Alright. Swamp. I could Bird Admire and Duel for Dominance. And the Duel for Dominance will allow me to attack him with all. So I think I just play that immediately. Do I pump up the Bird Admirer? Or do I... I'm going to go for absolute pressure. Alright. They're at half health. If I draw a land, I have Rise of the... From now on, my lands are playables, which is fantastic when you add in the fact that, you know, I have all this pressure already on board. So, while they technically have card advantage, we have playables from here on every single card we draw. If it's a land, it's a playable. It creates a playable. If it's not a land, it's low enough in the mana value, that creates a playable. So we're in a fantastic spot right now. They do want to kill that 5/5. I knew since they already have 1 Silver Bolt, they might have 2. So I didn't want to dump on the Bird Admirer. But the Bird Admirer might have been the better play in the long run. I will not deny that. Alright. Definitely a concern I had to deal with. It's alright. I can Blood Plaque on my turn, turning into Night first. Make my Bird Admirer a bigger threat. Forcing them to play 2 spells next turn. Yep. The Jadar is basically like a 2 mana 3/1 the way it's played, the way it's been acting in this game, or 2 mana 1/1 unblockable. Either way, doing its job. And we're gonna just not play anything. Now you have a threat, sir. Because, yeah, this Beloved Baker has stopped a good, like, 8 damage. So it's definitely kept them alive, but it hasn't been pushing their board state in any notable manner. So next turn I Blood Pact. If I get a land, I Rise of the Ants into Shadow Beast Sighting into Rise of the Ants. Like, we have play. Like, if we draw lands from here on out, we probably still win the game. But I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm also like, he hasn't been able to deal with Jadar. He's not going to, like, what's changed in that time? Ardent Elementalist brings out the Sun Gold Barrage. Alright. Alright. Stuffed Bear is actually tapped down, so I could still deal a point of damage before Rise of the Ants start coming in. Alright, it's daytime. Yeah, these lands do not bode well for me. But this is still 1 point of damage gained through. Next turn is Rise of the Ants. The turn after that is Shadow Beast Sighting. The turn after that is Rise of the Ants. It looks like they might actually have the ability to stop that pressure, but like, I'm definitely not making it easy for them. The Stuffed Bear is actually a really good card in this situation. I'm still attacking with Rise of the Ants. I'm not sure if I'm attacking with the Bird Admirer, though. Because he can only block one of the ants, and then he can block there. He still takes 2 damage. A Shadow Beast Sighting, he's at 5 health. He has not drawn... Okay, I don't know if Impline's a he. I just... Innately, that's how my mind works. They have not drawn another planes, so Beloved Baker cannot disturb. So, that's good. The only thing they can... Alright. Harvest Hide is a 3/2 trample daybound. I mean, I did jinx it, basically saying that I think I could kill even if I... So if I do like this, they Stuffed Bear, turn into a 4/4. Kills, block, chump, kill. We're gonna slow this game down just a little. Still not scare them. Yep. Amazing how good Stuffed Bear can be. Counterspell? Yeah, I'm just gonna build a conglomerate of board. Force them to solve the board state, as we have, instead of attacking with petty 2 ants, I'm going to attack with potent 6 ants. Alright, go ahead, deal 4 damage. I appreciate it. Now your Stuffed Bear's tapped, my ants can start swinging in. Wait, hold up. If I kill that, I do not have lethal. But I get close. I have Rise of the Ants this turn, so unless there's, like, a horrible block I need to consider, or a combat trick they are about to play, I do not Olivious. Noble Gas Intruder. We're gonna let them block improperly, and then we'll ambush them. Four, 4. And 2-1. Alright, cool. They still take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. I mean, if they're gonna block in this way, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna Rise of the Ants. Midnight Ambush next turn. Instead of, you know, getting a combat trick, let's just Wrenn lethal next turn. Alright. Well, I'd like to stop drawing lands. I got one more than I expected I could handle. Alright. I think we just Midnight Ambush now to make sure he can't even block with this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm swinging with all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Have to show me something I don't see coming for this to not be lethal. I can think of one way where it's not lethal, and in that way I blow them so far out of the water, it doesn't even matter. So they're tapped out, so that's 3 damage taken. So that's 3 damage taken. I turn that into much more. I'm pumping that one so I get a card draw in the process. Alright. And before we go, I could even duel for dominance. Made it close. Made it strenuous. Made me work for it. But I got it. 7 wins this time, guys. 7 wins this time. Didn't jinx myself hard enough. Golgari just being Golgari. Doing its job. Those Shadow Beast sightings have just been... Honestly, yeah, Shadow Beast sighting being a 4-drop and a 7-drop is great. Rise of the Ants being a 6-drop and an 8-drop. Like, the combination of these basically said, hey, if I have a good 5-drop in between, my curve's just complete with these 2 cards. That was fantastic. I don't think any card really... Vengeful Strangler underperformed a bit. Harvest-Tide Sentry, I'm glad I didn't have too many. Did not seem like it was going to be a card I could play too often. Might have the old ways. When it worked, it worked. Jadar did a lot of work, and I kept running into Jadar. Wrenn didn't show up often, but when Wrenn showed up, it mattered. It really mattered. So, every card did what it needed to do. And I am proud. Alright, let's get a little pack opening, because I know some people like to see the packs popped open. Tarjuru Paragon. Alright. So now we actually get to Innistrad. Clear Shot would have been nice. Badrick. Like, I think, I'm glad I didn't put the Candlelit Cavalry, just, it's a 5-mana 5/5, which is a good body, but, like, I had 4-mana 4/4s into 7-mana 4/4s into all that. Siege Zombie, like, the guy that had just a bunch of tokens did pretty darn well. The 5-mana 7/6, it just turns out it's a little too much. Alright, let's see. Shall Be Sighing, just doing its job. Brimstone Vandal, Overwhelmed Archivist, yep. Ron Reunion might actually be good enough. I think this card is good enough for a 1, maybe... I think this is a 1 of in Limited. If you have a huge sacrifice effect, then you could probably run 2. If you have, like, 2 Bone Splinters and, like, that 1/1 that, like, you have to pay 3 and sacrifice a creature to draw a card and make it bigger, then I think you could run 2. But otherwise, I think this is actually, with the exiling cards from graveyards, a good, like, sideboard 1-drop. Like, you probably run 1. Alright. Mythic Wildcard, always good. I do have decks I want to make, so that's going to be great. Consider. Huh, that's my first consider. Ooh, the White Adversary. This card is very much feast or famine. If it stays alive, it is a destructive force, and if it doesn't stay alive, but it's very easy to kill. So, Celestia Sanctifier turns out 3 mana 3/2 just wasn't good enough in the situation where it showed up. Beloved Beggar actually did keep them alive, but it's still a card. It's still a card for keeping you alive, not actually progressing the board state. I think you have to, when you play Beloved Beggar, you have to say, this is a Serra Angel in my deck. If you play it as saying, oh, I have a 2-drop, you're going to get disappointed, you're going to get blown out. I think that's basically what happened to our opponents. I think. Sigarda's Splendor. Okay, so this card. I used to think, this card was garbage, that it needed to cost 2 to be good. Here's the thing that I didn't notice. So here's what it says. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if your life total is greater than the last noted life total, then note your life total. I thought you had to draw a card in order to note your new life total. So like, let's say you have 20. If you have 21 next turn, then you note 21. Turns out, the reason I thought it sucked is you play this, you note 20, they deal 8 damage to you, and now you're at 12, you have to heal 9 life and keep it around. Now what happens is, they deal 8 to you, you're at 12, next turn you don't draw a card, but you note 12. So then all you have to do is stabilize from there, this card gains you 1 life, this card ends up actually being a card advantage engine. This is Sigarda's Splendor. If you're in white, it's a better Elixir of Immortality. Now, or not Elixir of Immortality, there's a new Elixir that's like a 4-mana artifact at your turn, you gain 2 life if you're below your starting life total, or you draw a card if you're above. It's a better version of that, because if you're at like 12, you get knocked down to 4, it then notes 4. So then when you play a card and go to 5, the moment you stabilize the board, this becomes card advantage. That's the thing I didn't understand. It's not you play this with a stabilized board and have to keep it stabilized for card advantage. It's you just play this on a stable board, and Sigarda's Splendor does its job. I still think for how strong constructed is, you might need 3 of, or we're going to need some sort of synergy with enchantments, or it's just momentary life gain in mono white. But this card is a lot better than I thought it was, and that is something worth noting. That might actually be good enough in limited if you have like half of your cards being white. And that's something I did not think was actually viable. I thought I just wanted to bring that up because I did not know that that was how it worked. And I thought it was garbage. It is now okay. It is now a perfectly reasonable thing. Ludwig Necrogenius. So its backside is just kind of weird because the deck where you'd want to play Ludwig doesn't really run a bunch of big, scary effects. But it's a 2-mana 2/3 that then mills you cards. That's often good enough. There's a little trick. Apparently there's this angel that whenever you go to 0 health, you go to 3 and then flip it. But if you can't flip it, you lose the game. Apparently this being a flip card, you can flip this, but it flips back into Olog, which is a copy of the angel. So if you use this to copy that angel, until they kill Olog, they cannot touch you. And that's a thing I did not realize was a possibility. So thought I'd just bring that up, that apparently Ludwig has some sort of 3-color, you cannot lose the game, a 3-color, what's the card called? Platinum Angel effect. Which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Makes it possibly viable as more than just a 2-mana 2/3. With mills upsides. We're going to have to see more flashback. We're going to see the next set of Innistrad before I think the mill and flashback stuff starts working. What a weird interaction. I know, right? There's a lot of interactions in this game. Like, when you realize Banishing Light is broken, when you realize Oblivion Ring is broken, but Banishing Light is perfectly fine, that's one of those weird things where it's like, oh, so if you return it to your hand as it's coming into play, it leaves the battlefield before it enters the battlefield on the stack, and it leads to just like a free exile trigger. Like, it basically becomes a recurring Vindicate. Okay, that's not something I expected. Just weird interactions in this game that Fortunately, don't happen too often, but could happen. Nonetheless, we did what we got. We got our 7 wins. We had a fantastic time doing it. We played Wrenn. We got good things. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.